In this video, I'm going to give you 10 strategies to help you get through the airport and to your gate in record time. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask that you click my face down there in the corner to subscribe and click that bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Today we are going to look at strategies to help us move through the airport more quickly. The first thing we're going to talk about you can do before you even leave home, and that is to check in with your flight. Typically you want to check in 24 hours ahead. When you get checked in at home, you can bypass all of the issues and problems and delays of having to check in when you get to the airport and at the desk. So the first thing you should do, get on your app, get on the website for the airline you're traveling with, and check in 24 hours in advance. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we have our boarding pass before we even get to the airport. You can always download the app for your airline, and you can download the boarding pass right to your phone. Now, if you watch any of my other videos, you'll know one of the strategies I always do is I save that boarding pass in multiple places. First of all, I have it on the app. I don't like relying on that app, having to open it up when I'm at the airport. Maybe I can't get the airport Wi-Fi. Maybe I don't have a very good signal on my phone when I'm at the airport. And as a result, it could cause delays in getting my boarding pass. So I always do three things. Number one, I have it in the app, of course. But the other three things I do is I save it to the wallet in my phone. When it's in the wallet, I don't have to go through the airline's app. The next thing I do is I take a screenshot. That way I just go to my photo album and my boarding pass is there. And the third thing I do is I print out a hard copy. I always say that I'm a belt and suspenders type guy. That means if one thing fails, I have a backup. This way there are actually multiple backups, right? We have it on the app, we have it in the wallet, we have it saved to the pictures, and I have a paper copy. The next thing we can do to save time, if possible, don't have checked bags. Checked bags are a huge delay. You have to stop at either the curbside, the kiosk, the desk. You have to get your bag tags printed out. You have to wait in line. They just take an awful lot of time.
You know how much time you lose by checking in?
I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
35 minutes a flight.
If you're going on a shorter trip or you think you can pack in just carry-on, you can bypass that process altogether. You'll have your boarding pass from home and you can go straight to security. These days, on most airlines, you can have 2 carry-ons. Now, I say most airlines because a lot of them charge. Check with the airline. Some of them even charge for overhead space. You can put things underneath the seat, but they will charge for an overhead. I love Southwest because Southwest allows 2 free bags, and of course you can have your 2 carry-ons. You can have the carry-on that slides under your seat and the carry-on that goes in the overhead. Now, airlines like Delta are also kind of nice because if you have your 2 carry-ons, one that goes under the seat and one that goes into the overhead, they will often, in an attempt to clear up overhead space, make an announcement where they will check your bag for free to your final destination. Now, this happens at the gate, not at the counter, so don't ask for it at the counter. They'll charge you there. But at the gate, they will often check your bags for free in order to expedite boarding. Not only that, if you do that, they let you on board a little earlier. So if you can get there with just carry-on, it speeds up the entire process of moving through the airport and boarding. If you do have bags, consider curbside check-in. Now, I know not all airports have it, but if your airport has curbside check-in, it makes things go so much more quickly. You go to curbside check-in, they will check your bags. Typically, you can get a boarding pass from them. You won't really need it because you'll already have your boarding pass, but oftentimes they can get that for you as well, and you can go straight to security. It's a simple process. You go up, you tell them what flight you have, you show them your ID, and always tip the person at curbside check-in. What should you tip? A minimum of $1 to $2. I think at least $2 and a minimum of $5 total. If I have one bag, I'm still giving him $5. If I have 2 bags, I'm still giving him $5. If I have 3 bags, $6 or more. That is just kind of a general rule of thumb. But curbside check-in will get you through that airport far more quickly. If you do need to go inside to check your bags, learn how to work the kiosk. Go directly to the kiosk. It's very simple. All you have to do is press a button that said press here to get started, and then you just put in all your information. It'll probably ask for your confirmation number or the credit card on which you made the reservation, and ask you simple questions. Do you have any explosives or any batteries on board, that type of thing? You answer all those questions no. It'll say how many bags you have. It'll print out the bag tags in most cases. You can even get your boarding pass at the kiosk. Now, some airlines, it will not print out the bag tags. That's fine. You check in, you get in line, and then you go up to the counter. What you don't want to do is get into line without stopping at that kiosk, because then they might just send you back to the kiosk, delaying your time at the airport. Know your confirmation number. When you walk up to that kiosk, the easiest way for them to find your reservation, or when you get up to the desk, if you take that route, is with your confirmation number. So have that confirmation number ready. I do the same thing. For example, when I travel with Southwest, in saving that boarding pass, your confirmation number is already on there. But it's not a bad idea to have that jotted down somewhere, or maybe saved in the notes on your phone. Just make sure you have it accessible. You don't want to get up to the kiosk or get up to the counter and be fumbling for your confirmation number. You have that ready, it'll make your life so much easier. Have cash ready for tips. Regardless of how you get to the airport, you're probably going to need tip money at some point. If you take a shuttle, you want to tip the shuttle driver. If the shuttle driver helps you with your bags, give him a couple of dollars. When you check your bags at curbside, you're going to have to tip them a few dollars. So have some cash ready. I usually like to have about $10 to $20 in singles, and then maybe a couple of fives as well. I rarely go through all of that money, but you want to have it when you need it. Have your boarding pass and your ID ready. You do need a picture ID, and by the way, I would encourage you to watch my video about having the Star ID, because the real ID system is going to be in place, and you will need that real ID in order to travel within the United States. There are exceptions. If you have passports, those will work. Whatever it is, make sure you have your photo ID and your boarding pass ready. They'll probably look at that several times. They may look at it when you check your bags. They'll look at it at security. And of course, when you board, you'll need your boarding pass. So don't tuck that away in a place where you have to dig around and it could get lost. Get involved with one of the programs that will get you through TSA more quickly. The most common one is TSA PreCheck. Now we have Clear, Nexus, Global Entry. A lot of different programs are available. I don't want to go into detail with them. That would be a video in itself. In fact, I did make a TSA PreCheck video, and I will link that down below and perhaps up above as well. I also have Nexus. Nexus is great because it works with international travel between US and Canada, and you also get TSA PreCheck with Nexus. It's cheaper, $50 a year right now, as opposed to the $85 with a TSA PreCheck. Clear is a little more expensive. It's getting closer to about $200, but look into those programs. What does that mean for you? That means you don't have to take things out of your bags. That means you don't have to take off your shoes. That means you don't have to take computers out. It makes it so much easier, and the TSA PreCheck lines are shorter. So think about getting TSA PreCheck or get involved with a similar program. Check for available apps to know the gate location. Sometimes you'll find gates that are in weird locations. I know there's one in O'Hare. I can't think right now exactly what the gate number is, but it's not clustered with all of the other gates in that terminal. It's kind of off to the side in its own place. And if you don't know where that gate is, you will be frustrated going up and down the terminal, looking and wondering, where is this gate? It seemed to have been skipped. So if you know where your gate is ahead of time, it'll be a lot easier for you to get there, and you'll get there a lot more quickly. To piggyback on that, another hint is to download airline apps. airport apps. If you go online, you will find maps of the airports. You can find apps that will show you maps of the airports. I believe that Flight Tracker is one of them, in which you can find maps of your airports. That way you'll know where the terminals are, how to get to them, what transportation systems are available. Sometimes they're kind of screwy. Atlanta, I like. They're well marked. You get on those trains, you can get right to your terminal. Philadelphia has a weird one at F Terminal, where you get there and back by taking an actual bus that runs across the tarmac. So there are some weird ones out there. So I would suggest that you get an app, do some research, get an app that will show you the map of the airport at which you'll be traveling. Finally, let's think about using bathrooms. Try not to wait until you get to your gate to use a bathroom, because the bathrooms are going to be really, really busy. Because like you, everyone else is going to be waiting there for a flight that is going to be taking off very soon. So oftentimes what I do is I look for those gates that are not busy. You'll be passing them as you're walking to your gate. The planes have already left. If they've just left, everybody is gone from that area, which means the bathrooms are not going to be busy. You can also use the bathrooms before you get through TSA pre-check. But oftentimes I understand that you might be in the terminal area already, so look for bathrooms in areas where there's not a lot of people waiting around the gates, and you'll get in and out of those restrooms more quickly. This one may not be so easy, but if possible, try to travel on less than peak hours. Now in my case, I'm always going, I shouldn't say always, but most of the time I'm going out on Monday mornings. Those places are packed because every business traveler in the world is heading out on a Monday morning. So if you can travel on non-peak times, the airport won't be so busy and boarding will be easier. I just flew back, where in the heck was, isn't this terrible? When I fly so much I don't even remember where I was. I was in Texas. I was flying out of Hobby, and it was a Tuesday night. And it was so nice. We were on a 737-800, which I think seats about 175 people. And I think we had 70 people on that plane. Who's flying to Milwaukee from Houston on a Tuesday night? So that makes everything so much easier. If you're traveling during the holidays, sometimes traveling on the holiday itself is a day when most people don't travel. Most people like to be at the family on Thanksgiving Day, on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve Day at least. And so you might find that traveling during off-peak days and off-peak times will make your travel experience easier, and you'll be able to move through the airport far more quickly. Thanks for watching, everyone. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face down there in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. I'm Mark, and this is Mark's Travel Time.